Hello there, welcome back. Welcome to Beyond Horizons, clearly set in the Gobi Desert in the amazing People's Republic of China. Today, we will fix up this car, which is made out of 100 different parts. And I will drive 1,000 kilometers. Do you know how much is 1,000 kilometers? I don't! I lost my frontal lobe in a car crash. It's a 1 with 3 zeros! Do you know how many zeros those are? That's right, 3! Anyways, well, let's begin. We start in this little shack with this shit amazing car. So of course, we ransack it for everything it has. Food, backpack, petrol, an RPG, water, engine oil. Is there really any difference? I can't tell! And just like that, I start the car and begin my long drive. And not too far, I reach my first stop, a billboard that had a different car chassis. It does look cool. Fuck it. The process isn't complex. Just move everything to the other car. And once again, we're off. Oh. Radiators. They make sure that the engine doesn't die of a heat stroke by moving cooled liquids around it. So no liquid equals no chillin' equals boom. Oh. This is easily avoided by making sure your radiator is full. Mine was not. I even looked at it, saw that the coolant was barely a tenth full, thought about it for a second, and then just kept going. Amazing. So I had to periodically stop and wait for the engine to cool down by itself. I did try to clean the engine, thinking that would fix it somehow. What? Spoiler alert! It didn't. And that's basically how the next 10 kilometers went. Me periodically stopping, waiting for the engine to cool, before inevitably it explodes again.
Come on!
Until finally, I had an idea. Fill the cooler. Truly amazing. And this would only improve in my very next stop, where I found a very sexy sounding engine. Ooh yeah. Ooh yeah. Finally, for the next 5 kilometers or so, we were flying. Until one of my tires decided to pop. Clearly, these are American-made tires, as such crafty craftsmanship would never be allowed in the glorious People's Republic of China. I change out the tire and keep it moving. But then another tire pops, and then another, and then another. The first seatbelt was invented by Volvo in 1959. It had 3 points of connection, making it a much better version than past iterations, allowing you to not fly through the windshield, rather smash your head in an airbag. Luckily, I made it of pure titanium. A quick check that indeed everything was still attached to the car, and we continue. And in my next stop, I found this car again. I say again, as I have seen this car 4 other times. You might be wondering, Ace, why does this matter? Well, I actually have 2 challenges. 1, reach 1,000 kilometers. 2, fully finish a car. A car. And the fact that after 23 kilometers I have seen 4 of these cars made me wonder, maybe I should just switch. I did, however, have 2 requirements for me to even consider a car. 1, space. No space, no point. 2, 2 doors. Fewer doors equals fewer parts to find. And this car, it had 2 doors, so a grade of 50%. Good enough. And this would prove to be a very good idea, as in my very next stop, I find another door. Ooh yeah. And now, we were truly flying, occasionally slowing down for food, gas, parts, some drinking and driving. The first seatbelt was invented by Volvo. Oh jeez fucking Christ. That actually scared the shit out of me. This was an issue though. Sure, I didn't take any damage, but it could make me lose parts. And as I was trying to fully finish a car, not good. And you would think I would just learn and just put on a seatbelt. No. This wouldn't even matter, as I smashed myself into a rock at full speed. car fine? Car's fine. The car was not fine. Kinetic energy is the energy an object has because it's moving. You find it by taking half the mass and multiplying it by the square speed. In a car, the engine provides the power to the wheels, which push against the ground, and because of friction, turns the engine's energy into kinetic energy, making the car move. Now take all that information and throw it in the trash, as the car is levitating. Attempt 2. Food, water, petrol, and RPG, and we're off. Some bumper fell off. And I learned nothing from last time, as the engine overheated again. I once again checked, saw that the coolant was barely a tenth full, thought about it for a second, and kept driving. Surprisingly, the engine did work. Unsurprisingly, however, it drove at 20 kilometers an hour. At this rate, it would take me 50 hours of just this. And this went on for the next 6 kilometers. Until I found something truly beautiful. Oh, I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been 2 doors and space. Mine. But this really doesn't change the fact that the engine keeps overheating. Again, I drove, and again, and again, and again, and then it hasn't exploded, and again. But hey, my last 2 brain cells finally activated, and I finally filled up the radiator. So finally, no engine issues. Genius. And so finally, we were making progress. 1 kilometer every 36 seconds. That's 10 hours of driving. But we're not gonna think about that yet. I was starting to stop at more locations as I was running low on resources. And in one of my stops, I got to even clean up the car and got a better engine. Very nice. But at one of the stops... Is that a landmine? Landmines work when enough pressure is applied. It triggers a spring mechanism, and the spring mechanism is the detector. And so... Well, that answers our question. That indeed was a landmine. And it was basically smooth sailing from there. Well, other than me testing out engines, and me accidentally losing the better one. Oh, fuck. Yeah, basically smooth. Well, apart from... Nope. 1959 invented the first seatbelt in Volvo. What? But then, I found arguably the most overpowered item in the game. And so finally, we reached 100 kilometers, 1/10 of the goal. And what's a better way to celebrate the milestone than finding the best engine in the game? Ooh, yeah! The engine was so good in fact that I wised up and thought I should probably put on my seatbelt. Little did I know, that was a mistake. Seatbelt? Seatbelt? Nope! Oh no. Oh no. Oh no! 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 Fuck! But it was fine. It ran into a tree. Fucking seatbelts, man. Ah! Hey. Psst. Psst. Did you know that seatbelts were invented in 1950? Also, at some point, I decided to give my car a makeover and painted it pitch black. Okay. And then, I made that one stop I wish I didn't make. That's alcohol. Fuck. When enough pressure is applied... Oh, jeez! No! 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 Attempt 3. I had a better idea. Instead of trying to find the perfect car, instead, I'll just finish the car I started. When enough pressure is applied... No! Where did my car go? No. Where the fuck did the car go? Attempt 4. As I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, I gave up looking for the perfect car and said I'll just drag the shitty starter car till the end. No space, more doors, a score of 0%. Meh, close enough. See, while I have been showing you the fun side of things, most of the game was just this. Me holding W, periodically stopping, checking for relevant parts, and back to holding W. Over, and over, and over, and over again. And worst of all, the heat. No, not in the game, but in real life. It was the summer, and my room had turned into an oven. While I do the most repetitive tasks, which definitely led me to getting more zoned out and more distracted. The seatbelt was invented by Volvo. For hours, that's all it was. Me, the car, and the heat. But progress was being made, dying in the heat or not. Until I got too zoned out. I desperately tried to fix it, but ended up just making it worse. Attempt 5. Literally my first stop, I found my old perfect car. Fuck it. See, what allowed me to get so far in attempt 2 was this engine. Possibly the best engine in the game. So if I wanted my drive to take 10 hours instead of 30 hours, it was kinda very necessary. First stop, nothing. Second stop, nothing. Third stop, nothing. Until I found it. So lots. The plan was simple. Chuck things to activate the landmines until a path for me was cleared out. But sadly, I forgot to activate my brain cells. Jesus! I'm a fucking idiot. Attempt 6. In the past 2 days, I've driven 10 hours. 10 hours of this. I've dealt with my stupidity, I've dealt with the heat, I've even dealt with industrial grade explosives. Oh jeez! And yet, my progress is still 0 kilometers. It was clear I would need to take this a bit more seriously, and in my very first stop, I found my perfect car, but no perfect engine. Again, and again, and again, and again. No luck. Even after 100 kilometers, no luck. On day 2, however, in my third stop, I found it. So clearly, it was time to see how fast I could drive the next 100 kilometers. Time I was trying to beat, below 1 hour. Stop, scavenge, drive, stop, scavenge. And finally, we end with a time of 1 hour and 35 minutes. 35 minutes slower than what I was hoping for. So of course, the only way to cope is to inhale a pack of beer. And get back on the road. I will get this time under an hour, but this time, no crashing. This time, no funky driving. No. And the pace was good. There was some close calls, and some very needed resource runs that did threaten the run, but I was finally at the last stretch. 10 minutes left on the timer, and 12 kilometers left. This was going to be close. I decided to stop, change my tires prematurely, and keep my hunger and thirst topped off. I couldn't afford to drive carefully, but I also couldn't afford to drive slowly. But reaching 300 kilometers, I got the time of 55 minutes. Yes! 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 And just like that, reality hit harder than any crash. I'm still looking at a minimum of 7 hours of driving. After all, the gameplay is just this. Only broken up by accidental crashes and funky driving. But it did mostly blend in together, as I was slowly going insane. 300 kilometers became 400, then 500, then 600, then 700, then 800, then 900, but Reaching the kilometer 990, it was time. I stopped the car and started to put all of its parts together. Then I cleaned it, painted everything the same color. Lastly, taking out the engine that has served us greatly. The car was fixed, and now it was just a matter of rolling past the finish line. No. Where am I? What? It's the same diesel truck. What? No. No, 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 no. No!